I'm Corey Blair.
I'm Justin Ratliff.
We're the Cinemen.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about the movies that just really got under our skin and creeped us out.
You know, scared us a little bit.
Scared the bejeebies out of us.
We're going to be talking about those movies.
We're not talking about our favorite scary movies or the best scary movies. We're just talking about movies that really creeped us out.
Just frightened us a little bit. Made us, just think about it later on. Just like, man, that really was
things that, keep us up at night. That if we think about it, we're just like, man,
that was
scary.
I
need to turn a light on.
Yeah, turn that light on.
I need to turn that extra light on. I need to look over my shoulder.
Get in bed with your parents.
Get some chills.
That kind of stuff is what we're talking about in this video.
One of the big ones for me, this might be a little controversial, but Insidious.
Either a love or hate movie, I think, because you see people who are like, man, that's one of the best horror movies I've seen in a while. Then you got the other people that are like, that movie sucks.
All I ever counter is haters for that movie, and I will take up for that movie until the day I die, because I have to say, the first half of that movie is one of the scariest things I've ever witnessed on film. I'll say it. I will say it.
I'm gonna say before I even watched the movie, I went in. I was like, this movie's gonna suck and I'm gonna hate it. But I really did like it after I watched it.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. If I think about it, sometimes I have to look over my shoulder. I really do. So if it's dark and I look over in the corner, kind of see a shadow, I'm done. The man in me will tell you that, right? I'm not scared to tell you. I have to say that it kind of falls off towards the end. They spoiled what they had. They could have made one of the best horror movies ever, in my opinion.
Speaking of Insidious, a movie by James Wan, who also did the Saw series, which leads me to talk about the first Saw. First time I watched it, I was at home alone in my room, and the lights were off. And I'm not gonna lie, I turned the light on later on while I was watching it. The scene where Adam, where he's, the photographer, he's taking pictures to light up the rooms and whatnot. But the pig mask was in the closet, and he snaps that photo, and you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
It's just a matter of when it's going to come.
It's just when it's coming. It just feels like it comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh my God. And I had to turn the light on right after that because I didn't know what to expect. And just the thought of just waking up in a place like that, not knowing where you're at, and having to do stuff like that is crazy.
Another big moment that stands out is whenever I was a child, it was the first time I'd ever seen Poltergeist, and the scene where the guy's in the bathroom and his face melts off, I mean, it absolutely, that's the scariest thing I can think of when I was a kid. Just where he starts to rip off his face, kills me. Ugh. And then the orphanage, man, that little boy from the orphanage, terrifying. I mean, every time I walk out my hallway and it's dark, I turn on the light and I expect to see him there, but thankfully I haven't seen him yet.
He could come around one day, though.
I hope not. I don't even want to walk outside anymore.
One day you'll turn on that light and he will be there, waiting for him. And this might turn into the Cineman after that happens.
Man. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
And then a movie I think most people have seen, The Ring. I remember when I first watched that, and I don't know what it was about it. It just creeped me out back then. And I was just like, man, this is scary because, anytime you're watching, this happened to me. I was watching a movie at home, and my phone rang, and I was just like, I got a week. I got a week to live.
You have 7 days.
I gotta start planning what I'm gonna do with these last 7 days.
I don't know, something about that whole genre of Japanese horror it really is. They're all pretty equally scary. Something about a girl crawling around, just ugh.
Yeah, she did have a pretty creepy crawl. Now, yeah, that was crazy. And the scene I remember when I watched it, when they flashed back to that girl in the closet and her head turns around and her face is all deformed and stuff. I remember that was a little heavy. The Amityville Horror, the remake, I remember going to see that in theaters, and when I got home, I was freaking out because, my God, when it turns 3:15, my dad's gonna wake up, go crazy, and try to kill my family. And I know it sounds stupid, and you're like, he's making this up. But no, I really felt like that. I was legitimately scared for some reason. For like a couple weeks after that, anytime I was awake that late.
And there was a scene in that movie, the scene where the kid's in the bathroom and he's washing his hands, then it turns over and that little boy standing next to him. Man, every time I'm washing my hands at night,
I thought
turn
you
around and then,
I thought you were going to talk about the scene where the dad's chopping wood.
Chopping wood. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
No, really, that's one of my favorite scenes in any movie. Is when
hold it steady.
That little boy's trying to hold the. Oh my god, he's crying. It's absolutely ridiculous. But
he held that wood though. But here, a movie that just came out last year. You might have heard about it. You might not. It's a foreign movie called Kill List, and I have to say, what that movie does in the last 20 minutes is unlike anything I've ever witnessed. Like, I've never felt that way during a movie before. I've heard people use the term on the edge of your seat before, but I've never actually experienced it until the last 20 minutes of this movie. I mean, there's just something about it. Like, I really felt like I was in danger. I felt like I was in the movie and I was... Watch Kill List. I'm telling you. You need to watch it. He hasn't seen it. Watch it. You need to watch Kill List.
I'm going to watch it after this video, honestly. He sold it for me.
Watch Kill List. That's all I gotta say. Another movie that really creeps me out? The Fly. I don't know what it is, if it's just bugs or... I don't know, but anytime I see The Fly, it really creeps me out. I can barely even watch it, still to this day. Normally I'm not bothered by gore, but there's something about The Fly whenever he's turning into... Oh, I don't know. It's a good movie, but I don't like to watch it. And then me being as scared of bugs as I am, the last segment of Creepshow is just one of the worst things I can possibly watch with all those cockroaches, and man. I hate bugs. Oh, I can't even stand to watch that movie because of that scene. Man.
He doesn't like bugs.
Not at all.
What do you think of A Bug's Life?
I love A Bug's Life. Come on. Come on.
Bugs can be nice.
When they're animated. And then I'm sure everyone will agree, if you've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the scene with the lady in the truck has to be one of the scariest moments of all time. One of the scariest things from my childhood, and I'm sure it's one of the scariest. If you've seen the movie when you were a kid, I'm sure you had at least one nightmare.
You're still thinking
you
about
had
it.
To.
You're still having nightmares about it.
You had to.
Your life was changed forever.
This is why you will never, ever hitchhike, isn't it? But this is just some of the stuff that we actually found scary and actually got under our skin.
What's some stuff that's creeped you out? That's what the comments below are for. Leave some comments. Talk about some movies that creeped you out. Did the movies we talk about creep you out? Did they not creep you out? So many questions.
Are we pansies?
So many answers can be listed below in the comments.
So make sure to give the video a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook.
And I'm Corey Blair.
I'm Justin Ralph.
We're the Cinemen.
And we're not going to get any sleep tonight.